let's see. I think I'm on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Okay, so I just wanted to come in here simply because the new year will be here in less than 5 weeks. And people right now are, yeah, we just had Thanksgiving, we just had Black Friday, we just had a lot of holidays, and it's not time for us to sit back and then coast on into the new year. So what's going to happen is the fact that we have the new year coming in, and you need to be working on your content strategy for the new year, okay? And so this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Is I wanted to talk to you about your content strategy and how to develop an effective content strategy. So if you see me looking around here, it's because I've got a couple different programs and I'm streaming to a couple of different platforms right now with a brand new program. So, yeah, that's the reason I am looking around here. But I just wanted to talk to you guys simply because you need to stay on track of what's happening and not actually coast into the new year, because you need to have a strategy. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about 2024. And like I said, we're only about less than 5 weeks. So it's about 4.5 weeks out until 2024. And I wanted you guys to actually have a strategy to go forward with the new year. And the reason being is because if you don't have any kind of strategy, if you don't have any kind of plan, then you're going to obviously not meet your goals. Things aren't going to go the way that you expect it to go as far as your business is concerned. You're just basically going to be paddling without a paddle, right? You have no direction whatsoever. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that because number one, before we actually get into everything, is that you need to know what your goals are. So me, as an example, I have goals to reach out to my first degree connections on LinkedIn, publish more blog posts. I want to have a following on Pinterest and try to get more organic traffic that way. You have to set clear goals, okay? And so what are your goals going to be? Is it going to be developing more brand awareness for your business? Are you going to focus on getting more website traffic to your website? Are you focused on getting leads and getting people to sign up for your program? What exactly is your goal? Because if you don't have a goal, it's going to be easy for you actually not to reach that goal in the first place. So number one is going to be defining your goals, okay? So whatever that is for you in your business, you need to figure that out. Number two is maybe one of the most important things, and you should already know this, but I have to reiterate this, is reiterating that you need to know your audience, okay? And when I talk about needing to know your audience, it's simply the fact that you need to know where your audience hangs out, what your audience interests are, what their pain points are, what their demographics are, okay? Because if you don't know this, you're not going to know exactly where to actually distribute your content. You don't know where you're going to focus. So as an example, maybe your demographic are homeschool moms, okay? And so maybe you know that homeschool moms hang out a lot in Facebook groups and they don't really hang out that much on LinkedIn. So therefore, your efforts should not be on LinkedIn. Your efforts should be on those Facebook groups or those Instagram groups or whatever it is. That's where your efforts should be because you know your audience and you know where they hang out, okay? The next thing is knowing your audience. That way you know what their pain points are. So it's going to be good for you to actually know what their pain points are. So that way you can position yourself, your business, as someone who can help them with their particular pain points, okay? The next thing is planning ahead. So I've already mentioned that a couple of times. It is 2023 and we're the last few weeks. It's almost December. And therefore, December is going to fly by. And so for most businesses here in the US, we only actually have a couple more working weeks because it seems like a lot of things shut down the last 2 weeks of the year. So you really need to get on this content strategy and planning your content strategy for 2024. As an example, I'm not only planning my content right now and laying everything out on a calendar, but I'm also starting to write things. So like blogging is one thing that I'll be focusing more on in 2024. So I'm starting with my blogs right now. So I know the downtime when everybody is off in the last 2 weeks of the year, I am writing my blogs. I'm getting all that stuff set up. I'm scheduling them automatically. So that way I'll have that's just going and it'll be a routine and I won't have to scramble around and worry about it come January 1st. Okay. So, planning ahead. And when I talk about planning ahead, I mentioned personally that I'll be doing blogs within my 2 businesses, but you have to figure out exactly what type of content you'll be doing in your business. So there are many, many, many different types of forms of content. So we have blogging, we have videos, which are on YouTube. We have the short viral type videos on Instagram and TikTok. We also have podcasts, newsletters, so email newsletters. So I do send a weekly email newsletter for people who are interested in content marketing and learning more about how to use content marketing for their business. That is the Content Bite, and I will drop the link down below if you're interested in that. Another thing is that we are talking about thought leadership. So thought leadership is not necessarily on any particular channel, but thought leadership is very important. So you can create thought leadership content and put that on YouTube. You can also have thought leadership content in your weekly email newsletter, thought leadership content on your podcast. So thought leadership content is going to take you a long way with your business. So that's positioning yourself as the authority in your industry, in your niche, okay? So just think about that. So what types of content, and I'm not talking about the social media channels just yet. What types of content are you going to be creating within your business to get the word out about your business? Okay, so like I said, that's all going to be related to what your goals are. If you want brand awareness, if you want more website traffic, if you want more leads, whatever that is, you need to figure out what kind of content goes along with what you are trying to do. Okay. All right, so the next step is actually looking at the social channels. So social media channels, obviously, we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have TikTok. We have all kinds of different social channels. YouTube and Pinterest, even though they're lumped into social media, they're not really social media. So those are actually search engines, and those play a critical role in your content marketing strategy as well. Even though people treat them as social media, they are search engines, okay? And they're very, very, very important for your business. So you have to have a mix. And like I said, this is going to be different for every business. So for most businesses, so within my fractional role, I suggest those businesses focus on LinkedIn and YouTube and maybe some other fringe social media. Okay. So there's a reason for that. So LinkedIn is where you're going to have all your thought leadership content. And LinkedIn is going to attract other professionals within your industry that may want to partner with you. You're going to get deals and everything else from LinkedIn. Okay. YouTube is wonderful because it's video content. Video is king right now. Okay. So people want to know you. People want to see your face. People want to know who is behind the business that they might be doing business with, right? So they want to know that you're trustworthy. So that's another thing. And then as far as YouTube is concerned, you can repurpose those videos in so many different ways. You can repurpose that into your email newsletter. So with my email newsletter, I will give people the link to my latest video. You can also break that up into shorter viral type videos, right? You can also post that video on LinkedIn. You can also post that video on other social media platforms, okay? You can take snippets from that video. So there are so many different ways that you can break up a video and redistribute it across all of your social media platforms, okay? Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook, and all the other platforms. So once again, like I said, Pinterest is not really social media. It's an organic search engine, okay? Pinterest is good. It is a long-term game, just like YouTube. So YouTube takes a while to get traction. Pinterest takes even longer in some instances if you're not doing something like an idea pin. But Pinterest is good because that's going to help you. If your goal was to actually get website traffic, then Pinterest is going to help you with that goal, okay? Pinterest is really good for bloggers or people who blog for their business, to bring people into that blog, to bring them into your business overall, okay? There are certain strategies that you can do with Pinterest. I'm actually working on something now, and I know that if I just implemented something this week with Pinterest, it's going to take me about 3 months before I can see any results, simply because it is a search engine and it does work slower. Same thing with YouTube. It is a search engine and it works slower. So I won't be able to actually look at anything to see if anything works for a couple months from now. But if they do, I will be back and let you know if everything's working, and I'll share that with my clients, and I'll share that with you guys here as well. Okay, so another thing is your content calendar. So I don't want you to get content calendar and content strategy mixed up, because some people use this interchangeably. Oh, I created a content calendar. And when they say they created a content calendar, they're like, oh, okay, that's my strategy. They're not the same, okay? So I want to break down what the difference is between calendar and strategy. Okay, so a content calendar is like you're looking at the calendar and you're saying, I am going to post 3 posts per week on LinkedIn. And I'm going to post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay, that's your calendar. And then I'm also going to sprinkle in a couple of YouTube videos a month. Okay, so that's a content calendar. A content strategy is saying, I'm going to post on LinkedIn 3 times a week. 2 of those posts are going to be thought leadership type posts. And one of those posts is actually going to have a call to action leading people to sign up for whatever product, to my newsletter, to whatever else. That is a strategy, because a strategy you can actually measure. You can measure, okay, I posted 3 times a week on LinkedIn for 6 weeks. You can measure the fact that, okay, yes, I posted 3 times a week on LinkedIn, but you're not going to be able to see the nuances on what is working and what is not working for you, okay? So that's the difference between just a flat out calendar and a strategy. The strategy is, I am posting on social media, whatever your chosen platform is, or I'm blogging, or I'm writing emails to my I'm writing newsletters to my email list. So that way you can actually measure the metrics, okay? And you have to have a specific reason in mind. And I'm going to go back to number 1, the reason: more traffic, more leads, more sales, whatever it is going to be for your business is going to be for your business, but you have to have some type of strategy, okay? So as far as the calendar is concerned, I'm not saying that right now you need to plan out the next 12 months of next year, okay? And the reason being is because obviously things change. And then number 2 is that we want to actually look at what's working and look at what's not working. So as an example, like I said, I just started a new Pinterest strategy last week. And I know it's going to take me a couple months before I can actually get results and actually start seeing things happening, right? So 3 months from now, I'm going to look at my content, my overall content strategy, and see exactly what I was doing on Pinterest and see, okay, so this worked, or no, this didn't work, right? And then from there, you're going to iterate. okay? And this content strategy is a iteration multiple times because things are going to change. Business is going to change. You are going to hit some things that you probably did not expect, like 2020 hit us. We didn't expect what was going to happen in 2020, so therefore you had to go back and rearrange your content strategy to make sure things align with what was going on in the world. So you do want to make sure that you have your content strategy and make sure it's flexible enough. Make sure that you have enough room in it to actually change some things up. The same thing with blogging. Blogging is going to take some time. If you are writing blog posts, it's going to take some time to see if that's actually working well for you, okay? Another thing is that we want to look at analyze. Like I said, you can look at things and you can say, oh, I got, I ended up with 5 more subscribers because of that video, or I had a lot of engagement on that video. You want to actually track metrics, okay? And when I'm talking about metrics, you want to look at your metrics as far as your engagement, your conversion rate, right? That's very important. You're selling something because you are a business owner, and you want to look at your audience feedback. You want to constantly look at these things to see if you are on the right track. So obviously we're looking at Google Analytics. We are looking at your social media platforms that you're posting on. We're looking at this and keeping track of your metrics, okay? Another thing is I want to let you know that your content, so whatever it is that you're choosing to do, whether that be podcasts, YouTube, blogging, posting on Pinterest, whatever it is, I want you to have enough flexibility to diversify your content, okay? Mix it up. So don't just post on Facebook, just post text posts. Don't just post different things on Instagram. Mix it up. So maybe you are used to, sorry, my Alexa just went off. So maybe you're used to talking about maybe you just do regular text posts on Facebook, right? And you don't add images, okay? So mix it up and add some images sometimes, okay? Mix it up and post your short YouTube clips. Mix it up to see exactly what's working and what's not working and what your audience actually likes. Because you would be surprised that your audience maybe does not respond to something that you thought was this grand idea and you didn't know, what happened. But then you look at your metrics, you see that, oh, okay, we changed some things up. We started adding video. We started doing this. We started talking about this. And then that's the change, okay? So the next thing is your team. So talking about teams that have, I've got my lawn guys. Of course, they always come out here when I'm on a live or on a video. But so we want to talk about your team, okay? And talking about collaborating. If you are in business and you have more than one person, obviously, and you have the means to work with other people within your business, such as sales and everything else, you want to make sure you're collaborating with them so everybody is on the same page when it comes to your content marketing strategy. You don't want to just have the marketing aspect of your business working on content and then not sharing anything with your sales team, or not sharing things with people who need to know, okay? If you're working by yourself, you don't have a team and it's just you, I would suggest that you get a little bit of help, simply because it is a lot if you are trying to post on a couple of different platforms. It's a lot to try to post on a couple of different platforms, and if you have the means, go ahead and get somebody to help you with something, okay? Start using tools that will help you move a little bit faster. Start hiring a VA or having somebody help you with the content so that way you can stay consistent, okay? And lastly, I wanted to talk to you guys about leaving room in your calendar to address industry trends and big events. So it's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. You never know what's going to happen. So we don't know what's going to happen in March of 2024, okay? We don't know what's going to happen next week. Something big could be going on in your industry that just like rocks its world. So keep in mind that you need to stay agile. So it's not like just a set it and forget it. So even though you can post and schedule things to go out in a certain time, make sure you have room to say, if something big happens, I'm going to create something and put it out there so I can stay up on these industry trends, okay? So with that being said, I just wanted to say that I was coming in here to talk to you guys about your 2024 content strategy, simply because we don't have that much time left, especially here in the US, since we all kind of shut down the last 2 weeks of the year. I want to encourage you to get this all done before January 1st, okay? So if you need any help with your content strategy, go ahead and leave me a message or a comment down below. Let me know, because I have room to help one more person develop their entire content strategy and kind of guide them on where they need to go in the next year, okay? You do not want to wait until January 1st. You do not want to wait until the middle of December to get this started. You don't want to wait right now, because like I said, these last couple of weeks are just going to fly by simply because it is the holiday. So if you enjoyed this, let me know, and then that way I can, come in here and do some more lives about content strategy for you guys, different content strategies. Maybe we can focus on blogging one time, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, and let me know, and then I'll continue to come in here and pop in and do lives. But in the meantime, like I said, if you need any help, go ahead and drop me a comment down below, get in contact with me, and I'll see you guys on the next video, okay?